family, one love. Welcome back to my channel. I trust that everybody is well. Um, I would like to discuss something that I heard discussed on Young Pharaoh's channel earlier, and it is pertaining to the indigenous people of America. All right. Now, to put it simply and to be direct, Young Pharaoh is of the position that the blacks in America are actually the original Indians, the actual original Native Americans. All right, now I've heard Dane Calloway and I've heard brothers like Dr. Ali Muhammad make these types of comments, and initially they were offensive because they appear to be making a departure from our African ancestry and our African heritage. All right, but upon closer inspection, I believe that these ideas can be reconciled together if they are considered um, from the proper or within the proper context. All right. Firstly, my um, reference for human anthropology is Cheik Anta Diop. All right, family. Cheik Anta Diop is a revolutionary African anthropologist who gave the world a breakdown of the original human migration from the Twa, who are the pygmy sized people in South Africa, who would have migrated northwards. He spoke about six separate phenotypes that existed on the continent, and he said that only two of them developed the faculties to branch out off of the continent or the area we know as the continent to move into other regions of the world. All right, and so what I'm saying is we are aware that after the original migration, our people found themselves um, all over the world, in all of the regions of the world. People from Africa went to these regions and populated them. All right. Many of these original migrations still exist today in the form of isolated tribes who never made human contact outside of their tribe. Okay, so you have the Sentinel Islands, the Sentinel Islanders, the Jarawa people who live off the coast of India on islands who were never contacted successfully. All right, you have many tribes in the Amazon rainforests, right? Over time, who would have migrated there, and they still live there today. All right. Another example in the Philippines, the original inhabitants were black people who they called Indians, and due to the migration of the Chinese and the Japanese, they found themselves a mixed race of people. But originally, many of these islanders were black. I'm talking about the Fiji Islands, the Melanesian Islands, where they found black tribes comprised of people with afros living in a traditional African way of life. Okay, so what I'm saying, undoubtedly, on the continent of North America and South America, the earliest inhabitants were black. All right. In South America, there were the Olmec, who were the original civilization. All right. Now, what science and anthropology has given us in terms of the history of South America, they are giving us the timeline of the Mayan, Incan, and Aztec civilizations, right? But they never mention the Olmecs. So, what I want to find out, are the Mayans actually the Olmec? Were they just attributing the legacy of the Olmecs to the Mayans in terms of the zodiac calendar, step pyramids, and their whole artwork and representation? This is what I want to get to, because the people who currently call themselves the native inhabitants, let's consider this now. We're talking about indigenous inhabitants of a region. Okay, most indigenous people were black in a particular time period. So I just wanted to delve into this. I saw that young Pharaoh and others on their channels are now seeking to claim the legacy of the Native Americans. And what I would say is we are all Africans of one common ancestry, separated by periods of time, space, um, culture, language, but ultimately we are all one original people. And so I wouldn't want us to be lost in this indigenous movement and not recognize that we still came from one original migration. We all migrated from the continent, and when we branched out, we established legacies in these respective places. But let's not lose sight of the fact that we are African people of that origin. All right. Until there's more evidence to either support or be to the contrary of this idea, and in which case we will have to adjust our thinking. All right. But until such time, I believe that it's all positive discussion. But I think we need to tone it down and not be offensive to our African ancestry. Family, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. One love.